Hi Notion, this is Paloma. I'm here today shooting my Notion cover. What is one song or album that completely changed your perspective on making music? I think it would definitely be 22 A Million by Bon Iver. It was also a massive influence in my mind now, where I was so inspired by the way that Justin Vernon makes these like soundscape type songs out of harmony and like bare bones, but they feel so full. And it definitely freed me in a way when I was making music after listening to that album. Who is Paloma's music for? Who are you trying to touch when making music? There's really no set demographic. I'm really grateful to have such a strong and receptive audience, and I think I make music for the people who need it, for people who are seeking catharsis and the facilitation of whatever it is that they are needing to feel and what they're working through. Cacophony was definitely a central point of that, of the coming together of all my music, that I felt was a safe space for people to listen to this music and help them like reconnect with what emotions they needed to process. Outside of music, where do you draw influence from as an artist? A lot from my background in art history and in fine art, and that's where I came to my love of mythology and folklore and Greek mythology, and that crops up time and time again in my writing, just because I find it so wonderful to return to tropes that are so historical, but using that to tell human stories and very private emotions that kind of amplifies and gives this wonderful weight to these private emotions that displays the fact that it's been that way for humans for centuries and thousands of years, and it makes me feel really connected with the general universe. What do you hope people take away from the album? I hope people feel held by it and has helped me feel heard as well. It's the type of music that I send to friends and loved ones if I want to help them better understand a way about how I feel, and I think that's so magic when artists are able to do that, resonate with people on that level. And I think that's just what I really hope for Cacophony, because on the face of it, it was the body of work that I was making really for my own benefit, in order to help me through this period of time that I was going through. And it really does reflect a lot of my growth and my journey through mental illness and into self-love, and I hope it helps other people in that respect. Describe your sound in 3 words: visceral, world-building, and vulnerable. What was the moment you knew you had to make Cacophony? There wasn't really one moment. It was a real sort of slow burn of realizing what I'd been amassing over the past couple of years was a body of work that I wanted to be released together. Because I didn't write most of these songs with the view of them being an album. They were songs that I was just writing at the time as my emotional outlet, my way of making sense of what I was going through, this huge transitional period in my life where I felt I was really kind of just leaving adolescence and all of the pain I attached to that with what had come before. I came to understand when, I don't know, maybe about 10 out of the 15 songs had been written, where I was just accepting that these weren't songs that were going to be released individually, because they were part of a bigger story.